very important things. Our thoughts are with Coach Majors. Heard his procedure went exceptionally well today, so our thoughts are with him today. Also, I wanted to reach out to Matt Ball, who is in the Shriners Hospital in Cincinnati. His family are great Vol fans, and his twin brother Michael, and I wanted him to know that he is in our thoughts and our prayers. But in terms of practice, I really liked our energy, I liked our enthusiasm, I liked our leadership. I joked around about it, but I was kind of serious. We may have completed more passes in one Skelly than we did all of last year. But, you know, I thought, again, our kids had great focus. I liked what I saw. Now, obviously, a lot of things we need to clean up, and there's so many things that you can do just in helmets. But I thought the retention from the classroom setting to the field, I thought our players did a great job. I thought our younger players, you know, they learned what it's all about of, you know, now having to take the classroom setting to the field and apply it, but also being able to not only offense, defense, but what we spoke about yesterday in the press conference, the special teams game as well. But I'll answer any questions you may have.
But you mentioned all the completing more passes. Is that just a product of having, you know, a receiving core that's been around for a year for the most part, or was it the quarterbacks looking better?
Well, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. You know, first of all, experience, you know, from some of the individuals of going through it now for a year, even though 50% were new today, but also the development of the players that played last year, but also the additions of Von Pearson and Josh Malone and Daniel Helm and Ethan Wolf and, you know, Hurd, all of them. You know, I think all those individuals, you could see the difference. You know, you could see the difference in team speed. Now that's just practice one. What happens when the pads come on? And I thought our quarterbacks have really improved. I thought our entire football team so far. I think our coaching staff, you know, our GAs, they've all done a great job of really preparing these players. Now tomorrow's a big day because as y'all know, you know, that it expands. The packages, the schemes, the assignments, you know, continue to increase. So now the volume becomes, and we'll see, you know, how we can retain today and then move forward with the installation tomorrow as well.
Speaking of passing, last year your passing efficiency, you know, didn't rank very well. Do you feel like it can go way up this year, or is that, you know, a stat that's deceptive, or just where do you think that can go this year?
Well, our passing game needs a lot of improvement, and we all know that, and it stems with, you know, being able to make big plays. Big plays were almost non-existent last year, and so today we had some big plays, you know, against some quality players. So that makes us very, you know, optimistic. But again, it's relatively very young, but we have to make big plays, and I think we have some individuals now that are capable of making big plays. You know, instinctively, we're in press man coverage, and Riley Ferguson's the quarterback, and he makes a back shoulder throw to Von Pearson, and Von Pearson takes it the distance. Last year, we wouldn't have been able to do that, and that's instincts coming out and making plays. And again, it's practice one, but I like what I saw so far.
Even with it being practice one, with the influx of the 14 new early enrollees, how much of a difference could you tell in the overall competitive nature of this practice?
Night and day. There was an energy, there was a spirit, there was a competitiveness that I hadn't seen before. I thought our older players did a tremendous job of really taking leadership, of going drill to drill, but there was a competitive spirit. Now again, it's easy for day one. Now let's see day 2, day 3, day 4. But again, I liked what I saw.
How much of a difference could, I guess, 100% healthy Kurt Magid make for the defense?
Big difference. He's our leader. He brings versatility to our defense in terms of being able to put him in a three-point stance and rush the passer, put him at the second level of our defense at the linebacker position. He has great football knowledge and instincts, but I think the versatility that he brings to our whole defensive package and being able to move him around, he's very explosive, so to be able to get him back on the field is a big benefit for us.
What's it kind of, I guess, say about him that you're calling him the heart and soul of the defense? You said that a couple times, and he didn't play down last year, so when you've been a coach here, he hasn't really played yet. What's it say about him that he's already got that kind of title?
Well, he gets everything he deserves. He earns everything. He takes everything that you tell him, and he takes it to heart, and he internalizes it. He's a thinker. He's extremely intelligent, and he has a lot of confidence, but he has very high expectations for himself and demands a lot out of himself. And it's one thing to be a leader and being a heart and soul, but really to be a leader, when you start holding others accountable, it starts with you, and his level of accountability for himself is extremely high.
Coach, on that topic of leadership, it's really unusual to break in 5 new offensive linemen. Have you noticed anybody trying to grab the reins and be the guy in that group?
Yeah, Matt Crowder. You know, Mac is an individual who has really led the group, and he's kind of the leader, and he's our center. He makes a lot of the upfront calls, but I've been very pleased with his leadership capabilities that he's brought to the table so far.
You had several people fielding kicks. Are there a certain number of guys you're going to run through there, or is there a period of time you're going to do that before you start to?
As many as we can find. You know, first of all, catching a punt is an art, and it takes a mentally tough individual to catch a punt and advance it. And so you can never have enough punt returners. So we're always looking to continually develop those positions. So our kick returners, our punt returners, that'll be ongoing. The more individuals that we can have that really excel in that skill will really help us and benefit our football team.
Butch, you said tomorrow is a huge day team-wide. What must the quarterbacks do tomorrow and for the next step in their progression?
Well, continue to improve. Take care of the football. Now we add a whole nother completely different set of installations. You know, the install continues to grow, so now you can't let the mind tie the feet up. Now we add some more down and distance components. Today was, you know, normal downs. It was 1st and 10, 2nd and 8. So now you add in 3rd down. You know, now you add in situational football. So the nuances of the game continue to expand as well, not just with the installation, but situational football, formations, personnel groupings, different tempos of the offense. So the volume continues to grow. So now, you know, the fundamentals, the small details, that has to become second nature. And so everything continues to expand.
Did Ferguson look like a guy who had taken advantage of either getting to or having to redshirt last year?
Yeah, I liked what I saw in him. I liked him what I saw with all the quarterbacks, but I liked his quarterback intangibles. He was extremely accurate with the football. He looked very confident, and he made some big-time throws today.
How much does the added weight change Josh Dobbs when it comes to putting on a helmet and playing the position?
Big. You know, that's something that we challenged him, and he responded. He needed to add the extra weight. All of our quarterbacks did. And I think Dave Lawson, Mike Searson, our entire strength and conditioning program did a great job of getting our players stronger, but also, you know, in this whole mix, and we talk about the quarterbacks and the increased volume that'll continue to grow, but also it's being in football shape. And it's really hard to emulate football shape until you actually get out here and play football. And so again, the legs are going to become a little bit tired. You know, the mind's going to be a little bit weary. So that mental conditioning element also starts to kick in as well.
You had said earlier, a couple weeks ago, that Marlon Lane had shown a tremendous turnaround for the positive. Did that show up on the practice field today in practice one in terms of leadership?
Absolutely. He led. He was vocal. And I like the way he practiced. He practiced like a senior should in our program. He was leading the younger players. He was coaching them. And that's the thing I liked about our players today is they coached each other. It was a loud practice. You could hear a lot of people talking, and I like that. Communication is the key to everything, especially playing football. And I thought our communication amongst our players was very good. But again, everything now is, again, you know, when everything increases, the volume, everything, the communication needs to grow. This is just step one. But I like what I saw the first day.
Butch, how does the dynamic of the quarterback competition kind of change that Josh and Riley have been here for a while? This is, you know, they're not new anymore, and they've kind of been through a year, and in Josh's case, played some.
Well, again, familiarity is key. They know what to expect. They know where they're going on the practice field. They understand the drills. They understand the meeting environment that Coach Jake has, the structure in our program. They understand, you know, how you take notes, how you watch film, how you evaluate yourself. So them now going through a season, although this is their first spring football, but having them in a program in a year I could see the benefits and I could see that experience show today.
After so many injuries, at quarterback last year, how nice was it just to have competition
Oh, it
and more
was
scholarship
great.
guys?
It was great. You've never been through a year like we were last year with the injuries at that position. And so again, competition is extremely healthy. And you could see it, but not just interpositional competition, but on both sides of the ball. You know, Cam Sutton, Justin Coleman, they're going to be better football players going up against the Josh Malones and the Von Pearsons. They're going to make them that much better. Jason Kroom has had a very, very good offseason. Getting Josh Smith back out there running routes was great to see. So that competition, you know, our safeties with now the tight ends and bringing some tight ends in your program that can run a little bit. So that helps, that creates competition, but that's how you get better, that's how you grow.
With Pig Howard being out for spring, is there a particular player you're looking at to fill his void this next couple of months?
One of the things we've really stressed, which we didn't have the luxury of doing last year, is every single receiver in that position group has to learn all the positions. So what we're doing is we're teaching it by concept, but also they have to learn the inside position and outside position. Last year, you know, they only learned 1 or 2 spots, but now we want to have that dynamic where we can move these individuals from the slot to the outside. And you know, Von Pearson is one of those individuals who we started him in the slot, but we're challenging our wideouts to know all the positions in our offense this spring.